Welcome back, everybody. As you could probably tell, this is a bit of a preview of the collaboration. Now, originally, we had already seen a bit of it on stream during the E7 World Championship. However, they've actually gone and, I guess, given us some more details about the collaboration, so you aren't wondering or guessing as to what we're going to have. Without further ado, though, let's just get straight into this. This news and this recording, by the way, is happening just after Rose as I was linked this, but let's get straight into everything that you can basically expect for the collaboration between Frieren, of course, and epicseven. Now, first things first, exciting news for all of you that care. Stark is just free. Amazing. He's a 5-star warrior, fire warrior specifically, as we'll see later. We are getting an artifact. Presumably this is going to be an EXP artifact. If it's something different, cool, amazing. But otherwise, the awards or the collaboration check-in rewards are also pretty cool. We get 10 Covenant bookmarks. We get epic equipment charms, catalyst bundle. All of these are obviously fine or good if you're trying to build up characters. However, we're also being given Molagoras and a 5-star hero summon ticket number, or a single, I should say, 5-star hero summon ticket. Now, interesting to note here, of course, is that unlike some other collaborations or some events or activities where it feels like we're massively time gated, something that I can actually appreciate with this collaboration check-in is that you actually get Stark day one. Yes, if you are honestly familiar with basically any other gacha game on the market, for whatever reason, whenever there are check-in rewards, they will put them in on like day 4 or like day 7, which kind of loses all excitement for day 1 if you're someone that just wants free rewards or just wants to play the event or have the character or not waste your time like pulling for certain characters on a banner. Stark, of course, though, is free, exciting, day 1. This should happen, or basically it be available, therefore, on the 26th of September or the 25th, depending on your time zone and whatever maintenance thing. But in any case, all very exciting news. Now, in terms of the showcase, we've already kind of seen a bit of what they did in game. However, as you can see, we've actually got the element and the role of these characters. Now, originally, people were thinking that one of these characters would end up like a Soul Weaver, as happened, or as is what happened with, you know, the ReZero collab. But actually, no, this is Fern, and she's an Ice Mage. And as a spoiler for Frieren later, she is also a mage, but we'll get to that in a moment. Now, in terms of Frieren, as I just earlier mentioned, she is an Earth Mage, and as we saw from a few of her showcases, she does also have 2 animations. It kind of made sense that she was going to be a DPS, because honestly, these don't really look like very healing-esque spells or anything of this nature. Exciting. Obviously, we don't know too much about what they do or what their role is. For all we know, one could be a DPS, one could be a debuffer, and if I'm being honest, that's probably what I would imagine both the characters end up doing. But then finally, as I earlier mentioned, Stark is a fire warrior, and despite being free, his animation's pretty sick, honestly. This is like very well animated. I don't really have anything else to say, and pretty amazing, honestly. But overall, you should know that there isn't much more to this page, but we do basically have confirmation of the roles and I guess the character previews or the ideas, or I guess like the roles that these characters may have. Whether or not these characters are good or not, of course, is completely up to debate, and we have to see, like, once we actually, you know, once we get more details about their kit, we can make calls like that. However, just knowing the roles of these characters, I think is pretty cool. Most, or rather I should say, there really aren't any healings like mages or anything like that, so all these characters will probably act at the very minimum as DPSs or some sort of mitigator in any way, shape, or form, debuffer, something like that as well. But all those I think are pretty cool, and again, if you're someone that was kind of upset at Amelia being like a healer, which again I can kind of understand, especially if you saw the most recent season of ReZero. In any case, like, that doesn't really, or is not going to happen in this case. They're all DPSs. Cool, exciting. They also obviously have pretty cool animations. Now, in addition to this, there are some more events that they have going on, including an adventure, silly yet fun journey. There's also a travelogue. Both of these, of course, are likely just going to give you either illustrations or EXP, or rather not EXP, energy and equipment charms. However, there is another collaboration collaboration side story, which is pretty cool. This is only available for 3 weeks, but from what we understand or from what we've seen, and I won't go over some of the spoilers, but there are some keepsake items here that are pretty familiar or pretty identifiable to Frieren, of course. And with these are probably going to obviously be items. Whether or not they have insane pre-rolled stats, or if you're gonna have to roll them, if they'll be at level 0, have no clue. With epicseven releasing the new otherworldly hunts though, if this is something where, like, seriously epicseven, like, again, collaboration fantastic, cannot sing your praises enough. Just as like a super minor nitpick, if we are in 2025 nearing 2026 really, and we got another side story, especially of all the side stories, the collaboration side story for Frieren, and this is like some 75 or 78 level BS, please, just for the love of God, just like, I don't even understand what the purpose of 78 gear is. Again, they've been on kind of a good streak and they've been listening, so again, this is just a bit of me being a bit paranoid, or you know, a bit you know, I'm just being cautious, or I'm just being a bit paranoid. But if this is something where these pieces are 78s and we won't be able to use them because obviously they're level 78, and even if you, like, you know, although it's a bit like, I don't know, it's a bit pointless to even argue about like these pieces because, oh well, you don't see the pieces on the gear or on the characters themselves. It is really nice to see custom pieces of gear that you can put on characters, and especially for a collaboration with a popular anime like Frieren, it would be cool if I was like, guys, look, like my Stark piece or my Fern piece or my like Frieren slash like Himmel ring, you know, like it would be cool if these are like real items that have significant value, and it kind of made you feel apart or like together, or it was a memorable experience where these pieces rolled very well, and you could then show it later on and be like, guys, do you remember when like Frieren had a collab? Oh yeah, like look at how well my jacket rolled, like I rolled 24 speed, or I have like 50 crit damage, something like that. And again, I think those small things really kind of add up into like making, you know, the collaboration feel more impactful or feel more memorable, as opposed to, hey guys, here's the 78 gear that we all know you're gonna throw out, literally like most of the collaboration side stories we've had in the past. But otherwise, again, I know this is a bit of a nitpick. The collaboration already honestly looks pretty cool, and I can't really ask for more because I would never in a million years have thought we would have gotten Frieren. But in any case, this looks amazing, fantastic. That's basically all that we've been shown in terms of the showcase though. Again, free rewards, amazing. Getting Stark on the first day as opposed to some nonsense where we get it on the 7th day, which, by the way, there are collaborations and, like, you know, side stories going on for other gacha games right now where this is literally not going on, or like where this like travesty is happening where they award you something on the 7th day, which is why this has got me so like upset or heated. Apologies, by the way, for all the rambling. But overall, honestly, really hard to get this wrong, and they didn't. Honestly, epicseven giving free rewards, giving out Stark for free. The characters look cool, amazing, and great, amazing. You know, we've got the side story. Hopefully that's a bit better. Usually collaborations are kind of lacking when it comes to epicseven, but I'll wait and see, as I'm sure all of you guys will. That's gonna be it for this, I guess, kind of breaking news emergency announcement. I don't know when this was announced page, but I was just shown it, and therefore that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, good luck on your Frieren pulls.